The session is now called to order. Please rise for the singing of the national anthem.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, buyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupit, di ka pasisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bakaw, may nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng wataw at mo'y tagumpay na nagdidinig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng warangit pagsita, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya dapat may mga akin, ang namatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please remain standing for a minute of silent prayer. Majority Leader.
Dispense muna. Mr. Speaker, we move to defer the calling of the roll.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The motion is approved.
Hindi?
Majority Leader.
Asan? Mr. Speaker, I move to defer the reading of the journal, the previous journal.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, we move for the approval of the... The approval. The approval. Mr. Speaker, we move to defer the approval of the previous minutes journal.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we move to proceed to the reference of business, and we request the Secretary General to be directed to read the titles of bills or resolutions on first reading, as well as communications, messages, and committee reports.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The Secretary General is directed to read the titles of bills and resolutions on first reading, as well as the communications and committee reports, for referral to the appropriate committees.
Reference of business bills on first reading. House Bill 8194, mandating the DOH to establish a research center on obesity prevention, Representative C. Alvarado.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 8195, providing for a Magna Carta for barangay health workers, Representative C. Alvarado.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill 8196, granting travel tax exemption to dependents of married or solo parent overseas Filipino workers, Representative C. Alvarado.
To the Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs.
House Bill 8197, establishing the Office for Social Welfare Attaché, Representative Villarica.
To the Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs.
House Bill 8198, creating a district engineering office in the 6th District of Batangas Province, Representative Santos Recto.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill 8199, upgrading the Lipa City Hospital into a secondary level hospital and increasing the bed capacity for general care services to 200, Representative Santos Recto.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 8200, providing for compensation for loss or destruction of properties in Marawi City during the 2017 siege of Marawi, Representative Villarin.
To the Committee on Disaster Management.
House Bill 8201, establishing a senior citizens daycare center in every barangay. Representative Aquino Magsaysay.
To the Special Committee on Senior Citizens.
House Bill 8202, granting educational assistance and benefits to the dependents of all members of the AFP, PNP, BFP, BJMP, NBI, PIDEA, Philippine Coast Guard, and Bucor who are killed or permanently incapacitated while in the performance of their duty or by reason of their office or position. Representative C. Alvarado.
To the Committee on National Defense and Security and the Committee on Public Order and Safety.
House Bill 8203, creating the Department of Climate Change. Representative C. Alvarado.
To the Committee on Government Reorganization and the Special Committee on Climate Change.
House Bill 8207, converting the LTO Extension Office located in Mandaluyong City into a regular LTO District Office. Representative Gonzalez.
To the Committee on Transportation.
House Bill 8208, amending Section 2 of Republic Act 10868. Representative Goa Mark.
To the Special Committee on Senior Citizens.
House Bill 8209, expanding the mandate of Sulu Sanitarium in Holos, Sulu to become the Sulu Sanitarium and General Hospital. Representative Sangkopan.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 8210, declaring September 17 of every year a special non-working holiday in Siquijor in commemoration of its founding anniversary to be known as Adlaw sa Siquijor. Representative Rocamora.
To the Committee on Revision of Laws.
Resolutions. House Resolution 2167, commending, congratulating the Philippine delegation for their achievements at the 18th ASEAN Games in Jakarta and Palembang, Indonesia, last August 28, 2018 to September 2, 2018. Representative Lopez.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Joint Resolution 27, joint resolution for the immediate suspension of the increases and scheduled increases in the excise taxes on fuel as imposed in Section 43 of Republic Act number 10963. Representatives Lagman, Daza, Villarin, Alejano, Erice, Kimbo, Bordado, Banal, Zarate, Brosas, Castro, Casilao, and Elago.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
Messages from the Senate. Message dated September 6, informing the House that the Senate on September 5 passed House Bill 7449 with amendments.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Message dated September 10, informing the House that the Senate on even date passed House Bill numbers 5173, 5552, 622, 5566, 5689, 6689, 5258, 705, 6160, and 1928 without amendment.
To the Committee on Rules.
Message dated September 10, 2018, informing the House that the Senate on even date passed Senate Bill 1306.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
Message dated September 10, informing the House that the Senate on even date passed House Bill 7044 with amendment.
To the Committee on Revision of Laws.
Message dated September 11, 2018, informing the House that the Senate on August 28 passed House Bill 5553 without amendment.
To the Committee on Rules.
Message dated September 11, informing the House that the Senate on September 10 designated Senators Legarda, Ejercito, Gordon, Drilon as conferees to the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing votes on House Bill 7449.
To the Committee on Rules.
Communications. Report of the Acting Secretary General, House of Representatives on enrolled bills numbers 5160, 6031, and 6742 submitted to the Office of the President for His Excellency's consideration and signature.
To the Committee on Rules.
Committee reports. Report numbers 855 to 857 by the Committee on Local Government and House Bill numbers 8230 to 8232.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we move to suspend the session.
Session suspended. Session is resumed. The Majority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the session hall of Metrobank Foundation President Aniceto Sobrepeña, its officers and staff, their program partners, Lieutenant General Raul L. Del Rosario, Mr. Rolando Ramirez, Mr. Christopher Anthony Ponce, and Attorney Ian Noel Mondragon, Yusek Tonicito Umali of the Department of Education, and the 2018 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos. Let us, Mr. Speaker, give them a warm round of applause.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday we adopted the House Resolution number 2152 for the information of our guests. May I ask the Secretary General to read the title and full text of the measure?
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The Secretary General is requested to read the title and full text of the measure.
House Resolution number 2152, a resolution honoring and commending the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos of 2018. Whereas the Metrobank Foundation commits itself to promoting a culture of excellence in the sectors of academe, police, and soldiery through the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos. Whereas the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos is a recognition program that honors the excellence, dedication, heroism, and sacrifices of the teachers, soldiers, and police officers. Whereas the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos are ordinary Filipinos with extraordinary work who are recognized models of excellence in their profession, stands shoulder to shoulder with their global peers, live by the Filipino values of patriotism, integrity, courage, and social responsibility, thrive amidst adverse circumstances, and triumph over professional and personal challenges with dignity and confidence, and bring change in the lives of people in their communities. Whereas, in keeping with the theme Beyond Excellence, the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos are recognized for rendering service above and beyond the call of duty, with their accomplishments having inspired and influenced their peers as well as the people in their respective communities and brought a lasting positive impact on people and to the country. Now therefore, be it resolved, as it is hereby resolved by the House of Representatives, to honor and commend the 2018 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos, namely, Outstanding Teachers, Mary Jane S. Ramo, Master Teacher 2 and School in Charge, Tonggo Elementary School, Tudela, Misamis Occidental. Alma S. Hanagap, Master Teacher 2, Pabia National High School, Pabia, Iloilo. Aimee Marie C. Gragasin, Special Science Teacher 5, Philippine Science High School, Cagayan Valley Campus, Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya. Carla B. Di Malanta, Professor 10 and Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs, University of the Philippines, Diliman, Quezon City. Outstanding Soldiers, Lieutenant Colonel Francis A. Señoron, Philippine Army, Assistant Division Chief, Logistics Management Division. Lieutenant Colonel Danilo T. Facundo, Philippine Navy, Marines, Director, Mobile Training and Exercise Unit. Lieutenant Colonel Tomas Ryan R. Seguin, Philippine Air Force, Squadron Commander, 7th Tactical Fighter Squadron, 5th Fighter Wing. Outstanding Police Officers, Senior Police Officer 1, Aida L. Awitin, Assistant Police Community Relations, Police Non-Commissioned Officer. Police Senior Inspector Dennis S. Ebsolo, PhD, Chief of Police, Villanueva Municipal Police Station, Villanueva, Misamis Oriental. Police Senior Superintendent Pascual G. Muñoz, Jr., Chief, Supply Management Division, Directorate for Logistics, Philippine National Police. For their loyalty and dedication to the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, for their faithful performance of their sworn duties and responsibilities beyond reproach, and for being model citizens in their respective communities. Resolved further that a copy of this resolution be furnished each of the above-mentioned recipients of the 2018 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend the session to allow the awardees to ascend the lower rostrum for the presentation of the resolution by the Speaker and their photo opportunity with her. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The session is suspended. Session is resumed.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we call the calendar of members. I move that the roll of members, I'm sorry.
The Secretary General is directed to call the roll of members.
Roll of members, honorable representatives, Abaya, Abayon, Abellanosa, Abu, Abueg, Acharon, Acop, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adyong, Advincula, Agarao, Agabao, Albano, Alcala, Alejano, Almario, Almonte, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Mercedes, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante, Amatong, Andaya, Angara Castillo, Antonino, Antonio, Aquino Magsaysay, Aragones, Arbizon, Arcillas, Arenas, Atienza, Aumentado, Bagao, Bagatsing, Bagilat, Banal, Barbers, Barzaga, Batawil, Batocabe, Bautista Bandigan, Belaro, Belmonte Feliciano, Belmonte Jose Christopher, Belmonte Ricardo, Benitez, Bernos, Bertiz, Biazon, Billones, Biron, Bulilia, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo Anthony, Bravo Maria Vida, Brosas, Bulut Bigtang, Cagas, Kalalang, Calderon, Calixto Rubiano, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cari, Casilao, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredinil, Catamco, Cayetano, Celeste, Seráfica, Ceriles, Chavez, Chipeco, Coanco, Collantes, Cortés, Cortuna, Cosalán, Crisólogo, Cua, Cuaresma, Cueva, Dalipe, Datol, Daza, De Jesús, de Venecia, de Vera, Defensor, del Mar, del Rosario, del Oso Montalia, di Maporo Abdullah, di Maporo Khalid, Duavit, Durano, Di, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Eusebio, Evardone, Fariñas, Fernando, Ferrer Juliet, Ferrer Luis, Ferriol Pascual, Floirendo, Flores, Fortun, Fortuno, Fuentebella, Garbin, Garcia Gwendolyn, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Albano, Garin Richard, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Heron, Go Ana Cristina, Go Mart, Gomez, Gonzaga, Gonzalez Alexandria, Gonzalez Aurelio, Gonzalez Fernando, Goriseta, Gullias, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hoffer, Halosos, Javier, Ko, Konghun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lagman, Lanete, Laogan, Lazatin, Liachon, Lee, Limkaichong, Lobregat, Lopez Benher, Lopez Carlo, Lopez Manuel, Loyola, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Manalo, Mangawang, Mangudadato Suharto, Mangudadato Sajid, Marcoleta, Marcos, Mariño, Marquez, Martinez, Matugas, Meliana, Mending, Mendoza, Mercado, Mirasol, Montoro, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Carlo, Nolasco, Nunez Malanyaon, Awaminal, Ocampo, Olivares, Ong Edwin, Ong Henry, Ortega Pablo, Ortega Vini, Pacquiao, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panganiban, Panotes, Papandayan, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Primicia Sagabas, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Ramos, Relampagos, Revilla, Roa Puno, Robes, Rocamora, Rodriguez Isidro, Rodriguez Maximo, Roman, Romero, Romualdez, Romualdo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sahali, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salon, Sambar, Sandoval, Sankopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento Cesar, Sarmiento Edgar, Savillano, Sema, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez, Si Alvarado, Tambunting, Tan Angelina, Tan Milagrosa, Tan Sherney, Tejada, Teves, Tiangco, Ting, Tiño, Tolentino, Treñas, Tugna, Tupas, Ti, Umali, Unapia, Ungab, Unico, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Uy Barreta, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velarde, Velasco Lord Alan, Velasco Catera, Veloso, Vergara, Villafuerte, Villanueva, Villaraza Suarez, Villarica, Villarin, Violago, Yap Arthur, Yap Melesio, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Maria Carmen, Zamora Ronaldo, Zarate, Zubiri. Mr. Speaker, the roll call shows that 197 members responded to the call.
With 197 members responding to the call, the chair declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of unfinished business, I move that we resume consideration of House Bill number 8165 as contained in Committee Report number 842, submitted by the Committees on Government Reorganization and National Defense and Security.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Please proceed.
Just a minute. And may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the bill, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The Secretary General is directed to read aforesaid measure.
House Bill 8165, an act creating the Department of Disaster Resilience, defining its powers and functions and appropriating funds therefore.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the parliamentary status of the bill is that it is in the period of interpellation and debate. I move that the author of the bill, the Honorable Joey Salceda of the 2nd District of Albay, be recognized.
The Honorable Joey Salceda is recognized.
Good afternoon, Honorable Madam Chair, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon po. If I may be allowed to.
May,
Sorry.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Honorable Kit Belmonte of Quezon City be recognized as to interpellate.
The Honorable Kit Belmonte is recognized.
Aye. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Will the Honorable Salceda yield to just a few questions, sir?
Yes.
Thank you po. I hesitate to ask the Honorable Salceda these questions kasi alam ko mas malawak at mas malalim po ang experience niya pag pinag-uusapan po natin ang disaster. Lagi hong every year tinatamaan po ang probinsya nila at sa amin din po, pero kahit hanggang 3rd floor yung mga baha sa amin, hindi ho makukumpara sa mga nangyayari sa Albay. However, nais ko lang hong malaman, sir, kasi marami hong nagsasabi sa amin na nagkaroon ng malawakang consultations sa pagpapatakbo ng RA 10121 and nagkaroon ho ng sunset review. Okay. Marami hong nagsasabi sa amin, pupunta po sa amin na nagpa-participate sa disaster resilience na nagsasabing hindi po na-incorporate o hindi po na-incorporate yung mga laman ng sunset review na yan dito po sa bagong bill. And nais ko lang pong malaman po kung totoo ho ba yun or may mga provisions ba talaga na lumabas sa sunset review na kasama po sa bill natin.
Yung pinakaunang bill po nito, Your Honor, halos sinulat po doon sa sunset review. Halos word for word po. So, dumaan po to sa dalawang committee ba? Committee on National Defense and Committee on Reorganization. Nagbuo po na isang technical working group at ito po ay nagsagawa ng 4 na technical working group na halos po maghapon na pinag-usapan. Inibitahan po lahat po ng mga eksperto. At nagkaroon din po ng halos 13 po na regional consultations na pinamunuan po ng OCD. Dahil sila po yung talagang imbuelto ho dito. Dahil sa ngayon po, under Republic Act 10121, sila rin po ang namuno nung Sunset Review na sinimulan po nung May 16, 2016. May 16, 2015, or 5 years after the law, sinimulan na po yung Sunset Review. Kaya po nung pumasok po yung 2016 na bagong kongreso, itong ating kongreso, kinuha ko po yung Sunset Review at sa tulong at saka sa tulong po ng OCD, halos sila po yung bumuo nitong batas na po ito. So kung meron man pong hindi sa pananaw ko na hindi po na baka may mga bago po na mga insights na pwede pong ipasok dito. Sa pananaw ko, Your Honor, may period naman po tayo upang ang komitiba ay pwede pong isalang-alang o ikonsidera bilang para may pasok po, para lalo mapagyaman ito pong ating ginagawang batas na Department of Disaster Resiliency.
Thank you for that, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. So you're saying amenable po talaga kayo na ipasok yung mga sa tingin ng mga ilang grupo ay hindi ho nasama sa bill na to?
Kasi naman po, dumadaan po talaga ito sa isang proseso at iginagalang ho natin at nagkakaroon po tayo ng mga, masasabi ho natin, masinsinan at ng mga intense na mga usapin, lalong-lalo na po doon sa halos 10 taon po na ginugol ng Committee on Reorganization upang makabuo po ng isang makasaysayang batas na siya po maglalagay sa Pilipinas sa isang pwesto o isang lugar na mas kakayanin nila na matugunan ang mga lalong tumitindi at dumadami na mga peligro mula po sa climate change o hydrometeorological risk, pati na po ang complex interaction nito sa mga geological risk. Amenable po ang bilang isa sa mga principal authors nito po, Your Honor. Ako po ay handa upang tingnan, upang po mas lalong mapagyaman itong batas na to.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker. Your Honor, sa definition of terms po, subsection DDD, yung definition ng resilience po.
Kinuha po yan sa United Nations po, Your Honor.
Okay, parang na-mention ho ba dito yung sa definition po ng resilience, na-mention ho yung prevention at saka mitigation? Na-mention din po ba dito yung mga definition of terms as defined nga po doon sa internationally recognized definition of terms?
Pwede yung natin idagdag, pero ito po yung resist to reduce. Pwede yung natin idagdag yung word na reduce, resist, absorb. Usually po, kasi yung sinasabi nyo po, nandun po yan sa tinatawag na adapt to. Ang pinakabuod po na konsepto ay ang adaptation po. Pagdating po dito sa definition ng resiliency po. Yun po talaga yung ginagawa ng isang estado at ng buong ecosystem o ng buong nation state kasama po ang sambayanan upang po maiwasan. Kaya nga pwede ko sabihin na ma-reduce. Pero ito po ay talagang word for word, hinango po namin sa definition po ng United Nations.
Thank you po for that. Siguro sa appropriate time, pwede po nating talakayin sa period of amendments. Mag-move on po ako, Mr. Chair. Dito po sa nung pinag-uusapan natin yung National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Plan, na based din ho sa original na RA 10121, may 4 na pillars ho. Mas alam nyo po kesa sa akin. Yung disaster prevention and mitigation, disaster preparedness, disaster response, disaster rehabilitation and recovery. Kung titignan ko po dito sa bill, yung current bill po natin, Mr. Chair, natalakay naman po yan. Sa Section 5, sa powers and functions of the department, may 5 main functions. Risk reduction, disaster preparedness and response, rehabilitation and recovery, and letter D, other powers and functions. Pero parang pakiramdam ko lang po, yung first fundamental pillar, yung pinag-uusapan nating prevention and mitigation, parang hindi ko ho nahahanap o hindi ko po nakikita sa laman ng batas yung mga, ika nga ho, pangil o makinarya para matugunan ito. When sa palagay ko lang po, and I'm sure the Honorable Salcedo will agree with me, na ito ay, kung hindi yung pinakamahalagang pilar, isa sa pinakamahalagang pilar.
Siya po ang pinakamahalagang pilar po. Siya po ang pinakamahalagang pilar. Sa buong mandato po ng departamentong to, ang risk reduction na nomenclature lang po ito. Kasi understood po na ang risk reduction kasama po ang disaster risk mitigation and prevention, Your Honor. So, pwede po natin mas klaro, siguro, dahil po, pwede natin sa pinakauna po na number 1 under risk reduction na in disaster risk mitigation, pwede po natin i-clarify o i-articulate po na mas klaro kung ano meaning po ng disaster risk reduction na dapat ito po ay nag-iimbwelto ng risk na disaster prevention and mitigation. Kasi parang yung for elegance, but I would definitely surrender elegance for accuracy, Your Honor.
Thank you for that. What about po sa laman, sir? Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, ang pakiramdam ko lang po sa laman, parang malalim po yung pagtatalakay sa other pillars. Halimbawa po, sa preparedness and response, sa rehabilitation and recovery. In fact po, ang lalim pag pinag-uusapan natin yung mga penalties, yung penalty clauses. Pero parang kulang ho yung mechanisms o yung mga wordings sa batas mismo para sa mekanismo at yung machinery para mag-implement ng mitigation measures, paano mag-implement ng prevention measures, yung risk reduction measures. Yun lang po, observation ko lang po, Mr. Speaker.
Tatanggapin ko po yan at willingly po, Your Honor, kung ano pong suggestion niyo po na pananalita na siyang lalo magpapalakas para po ang mensahe sa buong sambayanan, sa lahat, lalong-lalo na sa mga mamamayan, na kung ano po ang mandato at kung ano po ang kanilang papel, lalong-lalo na po sa loob po ng bagong batas na to, na siya pong masasabi po natin na clarify po na hindi na po i-diffuse. Yung dati po kasi meron tayong council at hiniwa-hiwa po sa 4, yung disaster mitigation na sinasabi natin ay nasa DOST, pero talaga yung trabaho niya ay nasa disaster preparedness na binigay naman po sa DILG. Sumalit po yung warning and warning communications ay nasa ilalim po talaga yan ng DOST. Pagdating naman po, halimbawa, so Your Honor, lahat po yun, pinagkaisa, lahat po na isa lang po ang pwedeng sisihin, hindi na pwede magturuan dahil isa lang po ang mananagot. Kung may mangyari at hindi nakita ng taong bayan na may ginawa upang pong maiwasan ang casualty o ma-achieve ang zero casualty at mabawasan po ang damages dahil po sa isang disaster. So, base po kasi naman po ito sa, kung titingnan nyo po yung number 1 to 12, halimbawa sa disaster preparedness and response, halos hinango po ito sa sunset review po na isinagawa po ng OCD. Kung babasahin niyo po na maigi, halos po yung pagpili ng salita, yung kanilang pagkadugsong-dugsong, halos po hinango po doon sa sunset review.
Maganda lang po din, Mr. Speaker, na na-articulate po natin ito. Kasi ang dami hong sectors at lalong-lalo na yung mga NGO community na involved sa disaster response na parang nangangamba talaga na nawala yung ilang points na nakita nila sa sunset review. Pero thank you very much.
Pero baka nandyan na po yung iba, pwede ko na akong tanggapin agad para mas mapalinaw at yung mga susunod po na gusto magtanong, makita agad yung progression po ng ideya sa likod po nitong disaster risk reduction. So, siguro kahit isa man po na pwede natin mapag-usapan para makita ko natin agad ang isang halimbawa kung ano po ang pwede magpayaman ng usapin o national conversation patungkol po sa disaster resiliency na isa pong mandato mula sa ating Pangulo at mismo po ng survival po natin bilang isang bansa.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Speaker. Halimbawa po.
Salamat.
Opo. Yung participations po ng local disaster risk reduction management councils po.
Wala ho kaming rini-repeal base po dito sa version na nasa harap po ninyong lahat. Kung datapwat o sa makatuwid, yung Republic Act 10121 ay ini-enhance lang nito. Dahil po, yung 10121 essentially organized the local effort and essentially established the primacy of local government units in responding, in reducing, as well as in their recovery. So, Matid Your Honor, base po dito sa pagkasulat po nitong batas, ito pong 8165, ito po, klarong-klaro po na sinasabi po nito, halos pinalitan lang po natin yung pangalan ng ginawa nating LDRM o Local Disaster Resiliency Management Officers, imbis na po yung mas malayo na mas negatibo ang connotation na disaster risk reduction. So makikita po nito, nag-transcend po tayo mula sa risk reduction patungo po sa resiliency dahil ito po ang mas akma na gawain po. So, yung buong balangkas po o framework ng Republic Act 10121, ang ginagawa ulong natin kasi, nung panahon po ng Yolanda, ay hindi po kagad tayo, hindi natin napunuan yung structural na pagkukulang. Dahil po ito isang catastrophe at na-overwhelm po yung kakayahan ng mga LDRRMO o LDRO sa ngayon. Sa Matid Your Honor, minabuti na isa po sa mga lumabas doon po sa Sunset Review na kailangan po ang pagbibigay ng surge capacity at ito na nga po ang binubuo natin because House Bill 8165 essentially organizes the national effort in order to provide or augment the local capacity. At hindi tulad nung dati, dito po klaro na isa lang po ang kausap ng mga local government units.
Mr. Speaker, ang sinasabi po ng ni Honorable Salceda ay hindi po nito rine-repeal yung mga gains and lessons ng 10121?
Hindi po, dahil mayaman po sa empirical evidence ang kabutihan po na dulot sa ating pong lipunan ng Republic Act 10121. Kaso po, mas lalong lumaki yung kalaban natin. Sa mga tuwid po, kakailanganin na po ngayon ang mas organized na national effort at hindi na po pwede, hindi ho sasapat kung isang konseho na siyang mag-a-assign sa isa o dalawang komitiba o isang komitiba, basically, committee po yun. Yung council has committees or groups, task groups, katulad po ng nasabi na dun sa apat na thematic pillars po ng disaster management, essentially po. So, ito pong bill na to, as it is constituted, essentially tries to repair or provide the missing link between, in order to achieve zero casualty and minimize economic dislocation, given the fact that local government units are easily overwhelmed ng mas, katulad halimbawa ngayon, yung Mangkot, lumalampas na po ng 333 kph habang papalapit po sa atin. So, with your honor, dapat may isang...
National Central.
Opo. In other words, ito na po yung utos, o hindi na kailangan umutos, kundi may sarili silang tao doon po sa Cagayan Valley para mag-imbak, para po magbigay ng technical advice sa mga LGUs kung anong klase mga advisory na ang kailangan nila. At siyempre po, sa pagbibigay po, pag-ready po ng mga posibleng rescue situations dahil po, kuminsan, it is the rescuers are also victims of the disaster. So kailangan po talaga ng surge capacity na galing po sa outside po ng mismong lugar na siya po. So hindi natin maaasahan yung mga local disaster, yung ating pong mga MDR, MMO, kasi sila mismo po biktima rin po. Katulad halimbawa sa Yolanda, ganun nga po nangyari. Yung mga pulis namatay, yung mga, so pati po yung mga pwedeng gamitin ng mga evacuation centers ay napagsisira po. Kaya po mas nahirapan po tayo upang ma-achieve yung national goal ng zero casualty during disasters.
Understood po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Ang point ko lang po dito, kasi tinanong nyo sa akin kung ano yung pwede nating erase na issue. Ang concern ko lang po is parang hindi ho ata tayo nakapag-set ng standards, minimum standards o uniform, minimum standards para sa mga local disaster councils dito sa bill na to. Pero kung ang sinasabi nyo po ay hindi naman nito repeal yung 10121 and nandun yung mga gains ng 10121, maybe siguro lang po maganda na nasa wordings po.
Pwede naman po nating atasan yung ating binubuo na Department of Disaster Resilience na magkaroon po ng mga quality metrics na siya pong gagamitin upang tingnan po ang kapasidad. But actually, Your Honor, the DDR is essentially designed to provide capacity building. Kasi nga po, yung disaster risk reduction, it starts at the bottom and kung sa ngayon po, wala ho tayo masyadong, wala ho tayo nung isang integrated framework para po makapacitate yung ating mga local government units sa pagsagawa po ng kanilang mga plano, ng kanilang contingency plan. Sa mga tidyoner, hindi lang ho yun sa pag-respond, kundi mismo po sa pag-iwas, katulad ng nasabi mo, disaster prepared, disaster mitigation, and disaster prevention. So, kung meron man po yung honor, usually nilalagay po yan, magiging trabaho po niya, at it can be implied from many of the roles at mga functions na kung saan sila po talaga ang magmomonitor kung ang magmomonitor po ng estado o ng capacity ng mga local LDROs o LDRRMOs at beyond that, to provide incremental capacity. So, mas matugunan nila kung ano man po yung peligro na hinaharap po ng kanilang komunidad.
Thank you po, Mr. Speaker. Isa na lang po.
Sige
na
po.
lang po. Opo. Nung craft po namin sa Housing Committee and Government Reorg, ang Department of Housing, ang Human Settlements Department, ang higpit po ng executive. And in fact, even yung Government Reorg Committee, sa pag-create ng structures and organization. In fact, naalala ko po, parang linilimit lang kami sa 2 o 3 USEC, ilang ASEC lang, ilang department heads lang po, kasi gusto nilang mas streamline. Actually, surprised po ako, and I guess it's a tribute sa galing po ng authors and sa mga nag-craft ng bill. Pero parang pwede nyo hong ipaliwanag at least para sa kaalaman po nating lahat. Yung structure niya, yung lawak, yung laki niya, yung depth niya, and bakit necessary yung gantong kalaking structures.
Yung structure po yun, or basically, tumutugon pa rin doon sa 4. So, meron tayong Secretary of Disaster Resilience na may cabinet portfolio. May dalawa ko siyang ASEC na internal audit at chief of staff. Tapos po yung pinakauna is Undersecretary for DRR and Climate Change, dito po halos. So bali, yung nasa departamento, basically po, mga staff functions. At ang kinocover po niya, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there will be a USEC for Administration and Finance, USEC for Civil Defense. Depende po yan sa atin kung gusto nating i-retain. Kasi nga po, isa po ito sa matagal na pinagdebatehan kung iiwanan na ba po yung civil defense sa DND. Kasi ang mangyayari po, kukunin lang ho natin yung porsyon ng... Tapos, meron po tayong Undersecretary for Policy and Governance and Undersecretary for Capacity Building. Sa ilalim po niya, meron po tayo ng mga regional offices at siyempre, yung mga regional offices po yun, ang siya pong magmamanage ng operation ng ating pong mga units doon po sa ground. At sila po ay regionally organized at magkakaroon po sila halos po na parang kung magkaroon po tayo ng fiscal space na may isa pong tagabantay sa bawat LGU kung sila po ay sumusunod o yung kanilang maginagawa ay sang-ayon po sa kung ano po makakapagbawas ng peligro o magpapatibay sa kakayahan ng komunidad upang harapin at magpapabilis po ng pagpapanumbalik po ng kakayahan ng ekonomiya at hanap buhay po ng kanilang komunidad. So basically, Your Honor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 po ang ating pong USEC po.
5 USEC, 10 ASEC, 11 service directors, if I'm not mistaken.
Tama
Mr.
po.
Speaker, Your Honor. Yes,
Sa ngayon po, ito po yung panukala dahil po yun ang nakikita natin na kung gusto natin maging zero casualty, mabawasan po natin yung mga damages na siya naman po pataas ng pataas dahil patindi ng patindi at parami ng parami po ang mga masasabi natin, parami ng parami ang mas matitinding mga disaster events, ay kakailanganin po talaga natin ng proportional response at kailangan po ng departamento. Ang isa pa po dito na benepisyo, dahil uupo po siya sa kabinete at lahat po ng mga dadaan ng mga proyekto, programa o panukala na tinatalakay doon sa kabinete, pwede po siyang magsalita kung ito po ay nakakabawas sa disaster risk o kung ito ay makapagpapalala ng disaster risk at mag-propose na rin po ng contingency plan or structural mitigation para kung halimbawa ang isang programa ay pagtatayo ng isang malaking dam, ay dadaan po talaga yan sa mayroon na kagad tayong mapupuntahan upang pong siya, hindi lang po science, kundi po based sa practice, makakapagsalita po patungkol po sa disaster risk reduction.
Thank you po. Ang concern ko rin po dito ay yung mayaman din na karanasan ng mga local communities and yung mga civil society organizations sa participation sa ground. Sa national level po, parang Section 20 and Section 23 nagtatayo ng dalawang council. Pero parang hindi po na-mention or hindi po na-mention ng malalim yung venues for local participation sa municipal and sa barangay levels. For example po, Section 20, National Disaster Resilience Council, 6 representatives from the academe, 6 representatives from the civil society organizations, 6 representatives from the private sector, plus 44 representatives from the government agencies. So ito po yung council, 62 members po. Pero may Section 23 din po na establishing a multi-stakeholder convergence unit. Na ang kasama ho din dito ay yung mga civil society organizations. Nais ko lang po, para ho sa aking kaalaman, di ho ba parang dalawang napakalalaking stakeholders participation sa national level na hindi ko alam, pero parang baka lang hindi ko alam, parang hindi ba redundant yan? Tapos napaka-unwieldy, sir. Tapos sa grassroots level po, sa mga barangay po natin, wala po akong nakikitang mention aside from yung assurance ng author, Mr. Speaker, na hindi naman ito tinatanggal yung mga lessons ng 10121.
Hindi po talaga pwedeng i-repeal yun. Dahil napakaganda po ng performance ng 10121. Ang 10121 po ay tinatanghal sa buong mundo bilang isa sa pinakamagaling na balangkas kung ano dapat ang isang disaster management office. Ang ginagawa doon sa ni-refer niyo po na Section 20, essentially po nilagyan lang natin po ng mas marami na partisipasyon po ang private sector, pati na po ang mga civil society organizations. Pero hindi na po sila yung magsasagawa. Dahil po sa ngayon, may NDRIMC ka, kaya ang NDRIMC nagtitext. Hindi po naman siya executive agency. Ang NDRIMC po basically a council that makes policy or programs to be implemented by certain departments or agencies. So it's essentially a policy advisory board. Yung multi-sector stakeholder is really in support of the fact na hindi po pwede araw-araw o buwan-buwan magkita-kita po ang NDRIMC kasi these are secretarial level. So meron po doon na pwedeng patuloy na nag-aaral, nagmo-monitor, at dito na nga po mahango, lalong-lalo na sa pamamagitan po ng kontribusyon ng public agency, pati na po ng private sector, lalong-lalo na ang people's organization and civil society organizations. Kasi po minsan, ang papasok lang po doon sa council, tig-lilima.
Sakto.
So, yung multi-sectoral convergence unit, essentially po, doon mag-uusap-usap na mas patuluyan na kung ano man po mahango na insight, pwede pong idala sa konseho upang po ito isang maging patakaran na i-implement naman po ng DDR bilang siya na po, hindi naman exclusive, pero has the primacy of implementing the reduction, the preparedness, the responding, and the recovery and rehab effort ng buo pong estado ng ating pong bansa. So, sa Mati Honor, hindi siya redundant. It only recognizes that all these secretaries also have so many mandates and so many issues to attend to other than disaster. It's only because in our country, we are number 3 in the Disaster Risk Index, doon po sa WRI. Kasi number 1 po ay Vanuatu, number 2 ay Tonga. Kung yun ay i-consider mo po ang populasyon, lalabas po doon ang Pilipinas talaga ay number 1. Pagdating po sa climate risk, pati lalong-lalo na po yung tinatawag nating complex interaction with geological risk. Dahil po ang Pilipinas ay nasa Pacific Ring of Fire, nasa seismic belt, and definitely po, siya po ang entrada ng lahat po ng severe weather events na pinapanganak doon po, dito po sa Pasifiko.
Last question na lang po. Last question na lang po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Nabanggit nyo ng Honorable Salceda kahapon po na yung DOST budget ay nablo-bloat dahil sa pag-asa.
Nagpapalaki po.
Para lang po clear din po sa mind ko, ano yung expectation nyo o yung computation niyo para sa budget ditong department na to, yung local disaster resilience funds, yung funds for prevention, mitigation, preparedness, yung funds na possible na bumaba para sa mga 3rd to 6th class municipalities.
So, Your Honor, kung pagbibigyan sana ng kabuuan ng ating pong Kongreso, pati na po ng Senado, aabot po ang operating fund nito na existing ng 30 billion po. Ito po yung existing na nasa NEP. Pag yan po ang binuo natin sa loob ng isang departamento at kung idadagdag po ninyo ang calamity fund, dahil ang calamity fund na ay ilalagay na po talaga sa management po ng Department of Disaster Resilience at hindi na po ikakalat yung QRF ng kung saan sampung departamento, siya na lang po ang magbibigay ng pondo sa kung sino pong departamento ang pwede pong mag-respond. So, depende po yan sa mga pangailangan. Halimbawa, mas malaki pong nilalagay natin na pondo sa DPWH. Samantala, halos 70% po. Hindi nga siguro 70. Ang number one po talagang damage ay agriculture. Pero hindi po natin nalalagyan ng pera. Kasi nga po, yung QRF nila, mas malaki po talaga sa yung para sa mga departamento So, Your Honor, dito po papasok, halimbawa, sa policy making, nung NDREAM-C na ginawa nating Policy Advisory Board, ito dito mo ilalagay, magkaroon ka na ng sinasabi nating recommended QRF utilization. 1 billion sa DPWH, 1 billion siguro sa akin, 2 billion lalagay ko sa Department of Agriculture, 500 million sa relief, dahil po ang relief is a shared responsibility with the local government units. At so, Your Honor, pag dinagdag mo lahat, aabot po ng 50 billion. At karamihan po nito, ang pinakamalaki talaga ay yung calamity fund na 20 sa ngayon, dyan po sa ating NEP, at yung BFP, dahil pinapanukala nga po dito na we should have boots in the ground na under the control po, dahil sa buong mundo po, practice na po na ang Bureau of Fire po ang siyang nagre-respond. Kung forest fire yan sa California o pagbahayan sa California, makikita mo po kagad o kahit po doon sa talaga po under na po sila ng FEMA. Pag meron po dito chart, makikita nyo ng Bureau of Fire Administration ay nasa ilalim na po ng FEMA doon po sa Estados Unidos dahil po yun ang lumalabas na pinakamabilis upang po maharap natin makapag-respond po sa disaster. So, yung sinasabi niyo po na natanong niyo na fee-box ay na Pag-asa, umaabot po na 1.6 billion at yung pinakamalaki outside of BFP actually is DREAM-B, which is under po ng DSWD. Ito po yung kanilang disaster response. At actually, yung DREAM-B po, tuwan-tuwa na maging bahagi po nito pong Department of Disaster Resilience. At gustong-gusto po nila dahil po yung kanilang very efficient na repacking centers magagamit na at pwede nating i-replicate sa iba pong mga lugar.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Thank you very much for your time. So, kung maaari po, maybe before the period of amendments, makasingit po lang tayo ng wordings na acceptable sa...
Ay, opo, Your Honor. Wala po ba kayong kopya? 8165?
Nasa lamis. Meron naman po.
Ay, hindi po pinamigay?
Anyway, with that, I end my interpellation.
Salamat
Mr. Speaker.
po.
Thank you po.
Majority Leader. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend consideration of House Bill 8165.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Minority Leader for his manifestation of additional election of members.
The Honorable Minority Leader Danilo Suarez is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I respectfully move that Honorable Eileen Radasa, Representative, Lone District of Lapu-Lapu City, as a new additional member of the Minority Bloc of the 17th Congress. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair is done. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I respectfully move that the following be recognized as the new and additional deputy leaders of the Minority Bloc of the 17th Congress. Honorable Joseph Stephen Paduano, Vice Honorable Garbin as Deputy Minority Leader, and Honorable Orestes Salon as Assistant Minority Leader. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we move to acknowledge guests in the gallery. Number one, from Honorable Jeffrey Konghun, Barangay Council members and other officials of Barangay Nagbunga, San Marcelino, Zambales.
The guests of the Honorable Konghun, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
We also move to acknowledge the guests of Deputy Speaker Rani Abu, Barangay Captains of Municipality of Lobo, 2nd District of Batangas, headed by ABC President Sani Ramirez.
The guests of the Honorable Deputy Speaker Abu, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
Guests of party list Representatives Sabiniano Canama and Anthony Bravo. The leader from United Sugar Planters Agrarian Reform Beneficiaries, Ms. Floraville S. King.
The guests of the Honorable Kanama and Honorable Bravo, please rise. Welcome to the House of Representatives.
Also to acknowledge, Mr. Speaker, the guests, constituents from Sapa-Sapa, Tawi-Tawi of the Honorable Ruby M. Sahali, namely Mayor Alcid Muhammad Ali, Vice Mayor Amposohum Lipay, Board Member Margani Muhammad Ali, and Haji Boy Masahud.
The guests of Honorable Representative Ruby Sahali, welcome to the House of Representatives.
Also to acknowledge the guests of the Honorable Divina Grace Yu, guests from the their municipal councilors from the 1st District of Zamboanga del Sur.
The guests of the Honorable Representative Yu, welcome to the House of Representatives.
Mr. Speaker, we move to acknowledge also the guests of Honorable Arlene Neil Abayon III, their employees of Southern Asia Pacific Division of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Silang Cavite, headed by Daryl Gay Tanamal.
The guests of the Honorable Representative Abayon, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
We also wish to acknowledge the guests, Mr. Speaker, of the Honorable Cheryl P. Deloso Montalia. They are civil engineering students of President Ramon Magsaysay State University.
The guests of the Honorable Representative Deloso Montalia, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
And last but not least, Mr. Speaker, we wish to acknowledge the guests of the Honorable Luisa Lloren Cuaresma, Miss Princess Ora, Italia's Got Talent 2017 winner, accompanied by her father, Mr. Neil Ora.
The guests of the Honorable Representative Cuaresma, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
And also, Mr. Speaker, the Vice Mayor of San Narciso, Zambales, Vice Mayor Lance Ritual, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
We move to suspend for a few minutes.
Session suspended.
Doon sa likod.
Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve Journal number 18 dated September 11, 2018. So
Is
moved,
there-
Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we resume consideration of House Bill number 8165 under Committee Report number 842 and direct the Secretary General to read the title thereof.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. Secretary General is directed to read the aforementioned measure.
House Bill 8165, an act creating the Department of Disaster Resilience, defining its powers and functions, and appropriating funds therefor.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the parliamentary status of the bill is that we are in the period of interpellation. I move that we recognize the author of the bill, one of the authors of the bill, the Honorable Joey Salceda of Albay. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Salceda is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, we also move to recognize the Honorable Arnel T. of Party List LPGMA for his interpellation.
The Honorable Arnel T. is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ako'y pwede po bang magtanong ng ilang pagliliwanag sa bill na ito sa ating magiting na sponsor? Ginoong sponsor?
Yes po.
Apo. Dito po sa itatatag nating Department of Disaster Resilience and defining its power and function, pwede po bang malaman kung ano po yung pinaka kanyang task ng departamentong ito para sa inyong proposal?
Gagawa tayo isang departamento na siya na mismo po mag-i-implement nung apat na thematics na sa ngayon po, sinasagawa po ng NDREAM-C, pero ina-assign po nila sa isang komitiba na mayroon pong lead agent. Halimbawa po, sa disaster prevention, nasa ilalim po ng DOST. Yung disaster response, preparedness, and response nasa DILG, at yung disaster, yung recovery and rehabilitation ay under po ng NEDA. Yung relief naman po ay under po ng DSWD.
Apo. So, maliwanag po na lahat po ng involved about disaster, ito na pong ahensyang ito ang
Tama po.
aaksyon. Pwede po bang malaman ano-ano po ba ang mga disasters na inyong tinutukoy para umaksyon itong ahensyang ito?
Usually po yung mga natural disasters, kasama na po yung mga dulot ng climate change, at pati na po yung geological disasters, dulot po ng ating pong yung ating pong lokasyon, yung ating geography, at kung anong klaseng lupa meron tayo, at yung lokasyon mismo ng ating pong bansa. Halimbawa, nasa seismic belt tayo, so mas marami pong earthquake. Nasa ring of fire po tayo, may mga volcanic eruptions. At yung interaction po ng climate change at ng ating pong geological features, katulad po yung mas malalakas na storm surges, Your Honor.
Apo. So, sa pagliliwanag lamang ho, pagpaumanhin ng ating ginoong sponsor, pagka sinabi po nating disaster, halimbawa po ay may bagyo, ito po ay considered to be a disaster, and this agency will start to prepare sa pagdating po ng bagyo at saka kung ano pong mga aksyon ang gagawin niya
Opo.
sa pagtama po ng bagyo.
Ay, hindi po. Ang pinaka-boot talaga niya, yung pinaka-heart and soul po nito ay risk reduction, Your Honor. Sa pamamagitan po ng mas mabuting comprehensive land use plan na ikakapacitate niya po yung mga local government units sa pamamagitan po na magsasagawa po ng Local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Plan na ikakapacitate din po nila yung local government unit at yung ang CCCAP, yung Climate Change Adaptation Plan, and ultimately po, yung contingency plan po. So, sa ngayon po, wala masyado, although nakasign po yan sa DILG, subalit po yung pagbigay po ng kapasidad ng mga technical experts, yan po ang pinaka gagawin po na wala pa po yun, dapat po, halimbawa, tutulungan po na sa pamamagitan po ng mga no-build zone, siya po ang tutulong sa LGU at siguro sa mga settlement nasa tabi po ng ilog o yung nasa loob po ng permanent danger zone ng isang bulkan tulad sa amin. Sa mga Your Honor, yun po talaga yung pinaka kasi habang wala pa, wala mas kukonti po yung disaster kung wala pong exposed doon po sa disaster. So yun po talaga yung pinaka na gagawin po nitong departamentong to.
So kung ang akin pong gustong malaman ay kung halimbawa ay nandito na ho ang, halimbawa bagyo ay nandito na po. Ano po ang trabaho ng departamentong ito? Coordination? Or sila po ay may kapasidad na tumulong magresponde sa mga pangangailangan? Halimbawa, Marikina, nagkaroon ng baha. Meron po ba silang kapasidad, equipment to go and rescue ito mga nabibiktima nitong mga bagyong ito?
Mas integrated po ang gagawin nito imbis ng ikalap po on over various agency. Ang proposal po ng Kongreso ay bigyan po ng sapat na poder at sana pondo upang may sagawa po nila yung apat na thematic. So kung halimbawa nandyan na, siya po maghahanda po kasi ulitin ko lang po, under Republic Act 10121 na base po dito sa version sa harap natin, ay hindi ho natin nire-repeal o hindi natin tinatanggal sa local government units ang kanilang primacy in disaster risk reduction, response, relief, and rehabilitation. Subalit, nakita natin ng Pepe Nginondoy, kita natin ng Senlong, nakita po natin na na-overwhelm po ang local capacity. Yung pwedeng tumulong po mismo, biktima din. Sa matuwid po, ang isa sa pinaka magagawa ng itong departamento ay ang pagbibigay po ng surge capacity.
Apo. So ito po ay, it will augment yun pong kakulangan ng halimbawa isang local government units. Ito po ay national in scope na siya pong darating sa isang lugar na may pangangailangan ng tulong. Ganun po ba yun? At siya may dala-dalang sariling mga tao at kagamitan upang matulungan yung lugar na may pangangailangan ng kanyang tulong.
Ang proposal po dati dito na inaprobahan po ng tatlong komitiba, Committee on Reorg, Committee on National Defense at Committee on APRO, na ito pong departamentong to ay magkakaroon po ng boots on the ground sa pamamagitan po tulad sa Estados Unidos na under po ng FEMA ang Bureau of Fire Administration. Ang Fire Administration, wala pong Bureau, Fire Administration. Na sa halos lahat po ng disaster doon, alam kagad kung yan baha, forest fire, agad makikita mo po dyan ang Bureau of Fire. So, gagawin pa rin nila yung mandato, subalit po, mas i-aalay natin na habang wala akong sunog, total naman po, ang duty po ng Bureau of Fire is yung mga daily, masasabi nating small disaster like fires. So, naka-align po sila sa kakailanganin po upang matugunan ito. So, meron po tayong boots, halos po sa lahat ng 1,378 LGUs, pati na po cities, meron po tayong Bureau of Fire na pwede pong agad mautusan ng ating pong, may yung kanilang kapit bayan, pwedeng mautusan upang pong sumaklulo o magsagawa po ng rescue kung yung mismo pong lugar o LGU ay overwhelmed po ng disaster.
Opo. So, liliniwagin ko lang po na halimbawa nabanggit po ninyo ang sunog at ang Bureau of Fire ang may siyang may pagkarapatan o kaya kapangyarihan na magresponde. Ito po bang Bureau of Fire ay magiging under of this department or
Yes.
nandun pa rin po siya sa Department of Local Government?
Dito na po, ang panukala po ay ilagay dito.
Okay. Ngayon, ang tanong ko po ay, so sa lahat po ng disaster, if the definition ho ng disaster dito, kahit na po nangyari lamang ito sa isang barangay o nangyari halimbawa ang tinatawag nating disaster sa isang malaking syudad, pareho po na ang magre-responde po ba dito ay itong Department of Disaster Resilience?
Unang-una po nga sinasabi ko, Republic Act 10121, ang primacy po ng response is still with the LGU. So balit po, titingnan po, halimbawa, kung yun ang tatamaan, halimbawa, isang lugar tulad ng Cagayan, ihahanda na po ng Department of Disaster Resilience ang necessary assets upang masiguro po ang national goals, which are essentially minimize damages and, of course, achieve zero casualty during disasters. So, magkakaroon na po halimbawa tayo ng strategically located na mga repacking centers, ng mga silos, para magkaroon po na pwede pong umalalay. So, kasi titingnan po natin na ang pagbibigay halimbawa ng relief, ngayon po nasa LGU, and usually kulang, so tatawag sila sa DSWD. So ngayon po, ang DSWD tumutulong lalong-lalo na sa mahirap. Yun po ang kanyang mandato. Dito po, ang Department of Disaster Resilience, ang kanya pong pag-prioritize ay kung sino po ang biktima o ang posibleng biktima ng disaster. Kasi may isa pong bagay dito na naiiba po. Kinikilala po ng batas na to ang preemptive evacuation. Wala pang disaster, subalit para po walang mamatay, inililikas mo na po, kahit wala pang bagyo, hindi pa maulan, wala pang hangin, inililikas nyo na po. So, saan nyo po ilalagay yan? Hindi naman pwedeng makatulong ang Department of Social Work and Development dahil wala pa nga pong namamatay o wala naman pong nasasaktan. Subalit, kinikilala ng batas na to ang poder ng Department of Disaster Resilience na magsagawa po o tumulong sa mga LGU sa pagsasagawa po ng preemptive evacuation. Na hindi sa ngayon, wala ho sa ating pong mga statutes, although meron po mga tinatawag na joint memorandum ng DBM at saka DILG na nagbibigay po ng guidance sa mga LGUs kung kailan po pwede gamitin ang preemptive evacuation. So, sa ngayon po, sila na po ngayon ang gagawa nun. Hindi na po pwede po, yung ibig sabihin, ito isang harapang pagkilala sa kung ano ang kakailanganin upang po yung ating pong national goals ay makamit.
Okay. Yun pong katanungan na kung national po ang kanilang
Opo.
trabaho.
Opo.
Natural ito ay magkakaroon po ng plantilla position for all of the needs ng ating pangangailangan ng bawat mula sa isang pinakamaliit na bayan, distrito, probinsya, rehiyon. So, nakasaad po dito sa inyong batas sa Chapter 4, yung Organizational and Management. Ito po'y pinamumunuan ng isang secretary at ilan po ba ang tao po rito sa nakasaad po rito? Pwede po bang
Saan po?
Dito po sa Chapter 4. Yung organizations and
Aabot
management.
po yan ng 1,600 po yun.
Yan ang total po lahat.
Opo.
Opo.
Sa ngayon po, meron silang 600.
Okay.
Na siya po umaalalay sa 1,400 LGUs, 81 provinces, at 150 cities. Ewan ko kailan ang cities natin ngayon.
Sa kasalukuyan ho ba ay yun ho ang bilang na pangangailangan pagka ito pong proposed bill ay maging batas, yung 1,000 plus po na binabanggit po ninyo?
Opo, para magbigay po ng technical advice, supervision, monitoring, na ito pong mga LGUs ay sumusunod po sa batas. Lalong-lalo na yung mga batas po na nakakapagpapabawas ng disaster risk, na para po mas may kapasidad ang komunidad para harapin ang disaster risk at siyempre mabilis na mapanumbalik po ang ekonomiya at ang hanap buhay po yung mga apektado po. So, yan po talaga ang kanyang gawain. Halimbawa po, nung panahon ng Yolanda, kailangan tayong humagilap kung sino po ang magpapasunod sa kung sino po ang magre-rehab. So, kailangan pong bumuo ng Office of OPAR na pinamunuan po ni Senator Lacson. Sa ngayon po, hindi na natin kailangan yon dahil po naatasan ang departamento to na siya po ang magpasimula, mag-implement po at humanap ng pera para po sa rehabilitation ng isang lugar tulad ng Leyte na siya po ang disaster, na siya po ang tinamaan po ng disaster.
Opo, ang tanong ko lang po, pagdating po sa Section 17 sa organizational structures po natin, pagdating sa letter D, yung 11 service directors, hindi po pa ito nagiging nauulit lamang doon sa mga function na ginagawa na po ng mga existing government agencies. Yung service directors, may 11 pong service directors ang madadagdag po rito. So, maliban po rito ay hanggang ho sa pinaka-dulo ng ating mga pinaka-probinsya, distrito, munisipyo, o hanggang sa barangay ay maglalagay po kayo ngayon ng tao. Hindi po ba ito repetition lamang ng trabaho ng existing government agencies ngayon na siyang nagiging parte ng kanilang trabaho?
Kasi marami rin pong ginagawa yung ating pong mga line agencies. So, kuminsan po, kailangan po na ang disaster po, halimbawa yung risk, yung peligro, ay andyan na wala pang trigger. Sa Matijonor, kailangan po natin ng isang continuing na isang employment of professionals at expertise para po masagawa ang mga bagay na ito. Ang bawa po, internal audit, lagi naman po meron. Disaster Resilience Fund Management, pagmamanage po ngayon ng ating pong, wala akong gumagawa niyan, kundi po ang OCD, Fiscal Management, Operations, Mobilization, Plans and Program, Legal, at yung 11 service directors po, ay essentially po ito ay masusi pong napag-aralan kung ito po yung kakailanganin upang po magampanan ng departamento ang kanya pong inatas dahil kung dati po, ang OCD po, marami po silang sinasagawa pero wala po silang tao, subalit po at sa ngayon, bibigyan na po natin sila ng tama pong level ng staffing pattern at access, especially sa talent dito po sa ating bansa. So, kung sa tamang oras po siguro, Your Honor, pero sa pananaw ko, mukhang wala naman pong duplication.
Opo.
Kasi,
ngayon, ang intention ho nito sa aking nakikita is to maximize our resources pagdating po sa disaster resiliency. Ito po ba yung pakay dito? To maximize the government resources para ho pinpointed kung sino ang may obligasyon pagdating ho sa
effectiveness po ang mas importante. Effectiveness. So, ibig sabihin po, kasi ngayon pwede ka magturuan Hindi kasi ako binigyan ng budget ng OCD, hindi ako binigyan sa calamity fund. Naubos na yung QRF ko. Pero ngayon may tututok na. Oy, ikaw, bayang ka ng Karamoan. May pera ka pa. So, gamitin mo muna yan. So, walang ganyan pong departamento na tumututok po talaga sa kapasidad ng mga LGUs at sa kanilang kakayahan, lalong-lalo na sa pinansyal. So, pag nakita naman po nila na dahil dinaanan na sila ng dating bagyo, so naubos dun, yung kanilang pong quick response fund, pwede po natin itong i-augment. o pwede pong i-recommend ng Department of Disaster Resilience na yung karamuan bigyan po ng dagdag na pondo. At meron po dito, dahil po ang pagpapatupad ng Republic Act 10121 ay marami pong hindi nakakapatupad dahil po sa PS ceiling. So meron po dito, dalawa, ini-exempt po ang 5 tao sa bawat munisipyo na hindi po siya bibilangin pagdating po sa pag-compute ng PS ceiling. Pangalawa po, mayroon po isang pondo para po sa assistance o adjustment fund para po sa 3rd to 6th class municipalities and cities and provinces. Kasi alam kagad natin na kung tatamaan sila, kulang naman yung pondo nila at hindi nila kakayanin i-sustain yung mas kakailanganin po na trabaho na yan po yung disaster risk reduction. O yun ang sabi ko nga kanina na pasiguraduhin na huwag mo na antayin may bagyo para ilikas, ilipat mo na ng bahay. So yun po isang napaka-expensive o mahal at hindi basta-basta po, lalong-lalo na po ang relokasyon ay isa sa pinaka mangyayari o yung pag-construct po ng evacuation center para po hindi natin masyado nagagamit ang mga classrooms at nadidisturbo natin yung mga bata, lalong-lalo wala ng bagyo, pero po nasira po yung bahay. So sa mga tweet po, saan natin patitirahin? So kasama na po yan sa mga pwedeng ipasok ng ating pong DDR upang pong maging mas maayos po, mas orderly and systematic po ang resolution po natin ng consequences of disaster.
Opo. Isa pa kong nakasaad dito sa pagtatagpo ng ahensyang ito upang bumilis ang aksyon. I think yun ho yung isa sa pangunahin dahilan kung bakit ho itinatatag ang ahensyang ito upang bumilis yung aksyon. Dahil nabanggit ho ninyo kanina, yung frustration natin sa pag-responde sa Yolanda at saka sa mga ilang mga lugar natin na tinamaan po ng disaster. Ang tanong ko po, pagdating po ba dito sa Chapter 6, Whole of Government and Whole of Nations Approach, there are 47, whether this is agency or represented by a secretary. Hindi ho ba magiging mas tatagal o babagal ang aksyon natin pagkakailangan po nating magkaroon ng representante ang lahat ng ahensyang ito upang
policy making lang naman po sila. Kasi nga po, hindi lahat po ng kaalaman, lalong-lalo ng interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, kasama na po ang socio-anthropological, ang hydrometeorological, lahat po ng sciences dapat po ay nasa employment po ng para po tama po ang gagawin at hindi po magkakaroon po tayo ng mga aksyon na rumiresulta po sa maladaptation. Akala mo nakakatulong ka, pero lalo mo pala napapasama yung estado ng biktima na gusto mo pong tulungan. Halimbawa, may nangyari po dati sa Aurora. In-evacuate nila. So, na-evacuate nila sa isang kapilya. So, nung pagbuhos po ng landslide, isahan tuloy. So, dahil po yung mismong pinaglipatan, talagang prone to disaster din, lalong-lalo na sa disaster risk. So, mayroon pong mga siyensya, lalong-lalo para sa akin po, ang socio-anthropological, dahil po, kailangan pong natin maintindihan kung ano ang pananaw ng mga individual. Para sa akin po, sa experience ko sa Albay, isa sa pinakamahirap po, yung alam nila na may puputok na mayon, pero subalit ayaw nila umalis kasi ang dahilan, dito na ako pinanganak, dito ako lumaki, dito na rin ako mamamatay. Ang tawag po dyan yung cultural attribute po ng attachment to place. So, kung iisipin, hindi ko naman po pwedeng bawalan ng mayon na pumutok, pero po, dapat po, may likas ko po yung mga tao. Subalit, may resistance po. Pero kung maiintindihan mo nyo po kung bakit ayaw nilang lumipat, dahil po yung kanilang aso, kailangan ilikas din, yung kanilang mga baboy, kailangan din ilikas. Kailangan din ilikas po yung kanilang mga yung kanila pong baboy, yung kanilang kambing, yung kanila pong damulag, yung kanila pong baka. So, nung maintindihan po namin yan, nagkaroon po kami ng malakihan pong animal evacuation center. Dahil po sa resulta na masasabi natin na nahango po sa experience at yun po sinishare natin at dun po yan lalabas sa either sa multi-sectoral convergence unit o dun po sa Policy Advisory Board na ang tawag po ngayon, yan po ngayon ang nakikita niyong pangalan kung saan-saan na nagtitext sa inyo na NDRRMC. So, ngayon po, yung NDRRMC will be transformed for what it is. It is a council. It is not an implementing agency.
Opo, ito ay policy making body.
Policy Advisory Board.
Policy Advisory. Ang akin pong pinangangambahan lamang, alam po naman ninyo, Mr. Speaker, ginoong sponsor, pareho tayong nanggaling sa private sector. Dati-rati, alam naman po natin na pagkahabang dumadami ang ating kinukonsulta, humahaba ho ang diskusyon at sa bandang huli, wala ho tayong mararating. Ang akin lang hong pinangangambahan ay sana hindi ho maging dahilan itong dami ng siyang magbibigay ng mga proposals nila na wala ho tayong magawang aksyon o magandang konkretong formula kung paano ho natin re-respondehan ito hong mga parating o dumating na disaster.
Kaya nga po makikita niyo, Your Honor, yung napakalaking papel na binibigay namin sa private sector dito. Lalong-lalo na po yung paghango ng kaalaman. Kung dati-dati po, walang pupuntahan, halimbawa, yung mga private volunteers, ngayon po meron na po silang sangkalan na kung meron silang, sa tingin nila, makakapagpabilis, isa na lang pwedeng kausapin nila. At kung gusto nila na mag-isang formal na panukala, ang kanila po na dapat i-replicate sa buong bansa, pwede silang dumaan sa multi-sectoral convergence unit, at pwedeng iangat po sa tinatawag na natin ngayon na NDRRMC na siya po na itinakda ng Republic Act 10121. So wala hong mawawala kung lahat po ng disiplina, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, ay ating pong mapakinggan. Lalong-lalo ng mga panahon ngayon. Habang hindi po tayo tinatamaan ng baha o ng pagguho ng lupa, o ng bigla pong pagtaas po ng tubig o baha o ng storm surges, meron po tayo isang pwedeng maasahan na mag-aaral at hihingi po ng abiso sa lahat po ng various sciences and various disciplines na nakapalo po sa various departments po ng ating pong gobyerno. So, sa pananaw ko, Your Honor, by having one to essentially consult everyone, tingin ko hindi naman po na hindi tama ka. Baka mangyari nga yun sa NFA at NFAC na kung saan yung NFAC ay kontra sa mga balak ng NFAC. Pero dito po, advisory board po siya na pwede siya magbigay ng recommendation pero ang itinakda po agad-agad that the primary government agency in leading, organizing, controlling, and monitoring the national effort to reduce risk, to respond to risk, and provide relief, and to rehabilitate and recover ay nandito po sa department. So very clear po, hindi po NDRIMC o hindi man po isang departamento na marami pong ginagawa. Halimbawa, DILG, pwede natin pag-isipan na bakit hindi na lang natin iluklok itong lahat ng function. Sila po nagbabantay ng napakarami pong LGUs, halos 2,000. At yung 2,000 po to, nagpapatupad ka ng 11,000 laws. Nasa RA, na ho ba tayo ngayon? Republic Act 11.10.9 something na ho tayo ngayon 11,000 na ho tayo. So, marami ho silang gagawin. So, kailangan ho natin na isa talaga dahil lang po preponderance of disaster risk in the Philippine milieu. Hindi ho natin kasalanan na tayo nasa loob po ng typhoon belt, seismic belt, Pacific Ring of Fire, archipelagic tayo, kaya ang lupa ay hindi po nakakaipon ng tubig, and therefore tayo po at risk to drought, at highly urbanized tayo. Kaya po dito sa Metro Manila, hindi mo na basta-basta marirelocate yan. Kumbaga, tingnan mo pragmatically what to do with Metro Manila. You just have to perfect the evacuation strategy because it will be so expensive if you want to relocate the 4 million, at least the 4 million people who are living in a high danger zone like riverbank. So, yan po yung mga pag-aaral na pwede natin siguro mapag-usapan at gawing isang policy action ng ating pong buong estado. So, I think at the end of the day, it is a whole of government, whole of society, and whole of nation. Kasi although this department has the role, has the mandate, has the duty, but nonetheless, it is also their duty to consult other disciplines, Your Honor.
I totally agree, Mr. Speaker, sa atin pong sponsor, na itong panukalang Department of Disaster Resilience ay pangunahin trabaho ay para sa risk reduction. Pagtama ng bagyo ay hanggat maaari less casualty, na ilipat natin ang ating mga mamayan dahil tinatanggap natin dahil sa kakulangan ng pondo ng ating bansa at sa laki ng pangangailangan pondo para ilipat sila sa mas ligtas na lugar ay hindi pa nakikita sa mga darating na panahon dahil sa laki ng pangangailangan na pera. Ang tanong ko lamang ho, under sa Section 10, kung ganun po kaganda at ganun kaseryoso ang ating departamento na iratatag, na mayalis natin sila sa isang lugar na delikado, lalong-lalo na pagkaparating na ang mga bagyo o ano pa mang kalamidad. Bakit naman po kailangan pa natin ilagay ang release from liability in case of refusal of evacuation?
Yan po ay hango po sa isang panawagan. Nung panahon po ng 2009, pumutok po si Mayon, ako ang governor. Yung mga tao po doon sa isang barangay sa Legazpi, in-evacuate ko, babalik. Tapos siguro may iba doon, 7 beses ko in-evacuate at bumalik. So they're putting at risk, this already concerns the rights of the rescuer. So tumakbo po ako sa CHR. Nagkaroon po sila ng memorandum order o isang ruling na installing or recognize, upholding the rights of the rescuer. Kung meron naman pong scientific basis na sinabi na ng PBOX na malapit na ito ay nasa Alert 3 at maaring pumutok sa susunod na ilang linggo. At ang gobyerno, tayo, lalong-lalo ang government, ay may duty na mapasiguro walang mamamatay dahil doon, lalong-lalo na may kakayahan naman po yung LGU. Pero kung halimbawa, hindi sila mag-cooperate, binigay mo naman, pagdating pa lang nila po doon sa evacuation center, meron po doon lahat ng kakailanganin po. Masasabi natin yung meron kaagad sila 5 kilong bigas, meron po doon health station. In fact, ang experience po ng Albay, mas maganda pong health outcomes pag nasa loob po sila ng evacuation kasi they're well taken care of by doctors, nurses. Still, the right of the rescuer is upheld, but only in so far, especially, kung siya ay nakakasira na sa kapasidad ng isang government entity na ma-rescue yung iba. So, dadagdag ka lang. Kaya nga po siguro, kung minsan meron kami mga tinatawag na strategic stranding. Ibig sabihin yan, nakakabuti sa amin, na kung may stranded kayo, kaysa dumaan kayo po sa isang peligrosong kalsada, dahil po ay baha-baha, at sa gitna noon, pinersa mo, bigla kang hihingi po ng rescue. Samantalang, sa pananaw namin, based po sa amin pong mga tao sa labas, na meron pong malalaking porsyon po ng isang kalsada. Halimbawa sa Libon, sa Paklas, o sa Pulangi, doon po sa Balangibang. Alam kaagad namin na pag may biglang buhos ng ulan, hindi necessarily bagyo, agad po kami nagpapatupad ng tinatawag naming strategic stranding. In other words, Your Honor, yung duty ng government, especially the general welfare provision, especially the duty of the state to protect people from themselves, from the risk. Sa tingin po, Your Honor, kakailanganin po to because it essentially upholds the rights of the rescuer.
Dito po ba sa panukalang departamento na to ay makakasiguro, ginagarantiyahan ninyo? Dahil ang kadahilanan kung bakit umiiwas na ma-relocate, ma-rescue, madala sa relocation site dahil uncomfortable dun sa lugar. At ang binabanggit po ninyo ngayon dito sa itatatag na departamento, dito po ay mababago lahat yan. At ang sinasabi ninyo, it will become convenient for those people that needs to be relocated during the incoming typhoon or any disaster.
Yeah, evacuation po.
Evacuation,
Hindi ko po masusure. At isang bagay sana na gusto ko sana ipasok dito ay yung universal norm. Ang tawag po ay Spears Standard. Sila nagtatagdog ilang litro ng tubig ibibigay, kung ilang kilo po ng pagkain bawat tao. Subalit po, Your Honor, napakamahal po nun. At ang gagawin natin, I think we need to evolve. It can be taken care of in the implementing rules and regulation that the DDR can provide guidance to LGUs with respect, lalong-lalo patungkol po sa pagrespeto sa human dignity ng ating pong internally displaced person, especially during periods of distress. So, makatwid Your Honor, nandun po yan sa mga una na mga prinsipyo na halos ang buod po ay this department upholds human dignity of all and that development should proceed in the midst of all the risk. So, nobody should lose his dignity simply because they are victims of disaster.
Well, Ginoong Sponsor, ang tinitignan ko po dito sa mga nakasaad na provision sa inyong panukala, yun hong kasiguraduhan na magiging komportable yun pong ating mga i-relocate sa mga lugar na temporarying kanilang titirhan, sapagkat sa nakikita ko po dito sa ating panukala, sinasagot po yan ng ating Chapter 11, yung final provisions po nitong batas na ito, under Section 69, Transfer and Attachment, A, the applicable powers, function, funds, and appropriations of the Office of Civil Defense and the Climate Change Office, Geohazard Assessment and Engineering Geology Section of Mines and Geoscience Bureau, Health and Emergency Management Bureau of the Department of Health, the Disaster Response Assistance and Management Bureau of the DSWD, and the Bureau of Fire Protection are hereby transferred to the department. So, ang aking pananaw, halos kinuha na ho natin yung pondo ng mga ahensyang yan para ho sa pagresponde dito. Ibig sabihin, may kaukulang pondo ang departamentong ito, kaya para ayusin yun hong kanilang trabaho. Hindi po ba?
Ang pinakabuod po na instrumento, kung meron tayong pasyente, kailangan mo ng scalpel. Ang pinaka-scalpel po ng DDR is capacity building. Ang ibig po sabihin na patuloy po, continuing po, ang training para po lalo-lalo ng BFP na mabigyan po siya ng mas mataas ang training, lalong-lalo na talagang kailangan natin maghanda para po sa tinatawag, ayaw kong gumamit ng big one, para po sa 7.2, Subalit nakita na ngayon, napapaligiran tayo ng 6.8 is actually just as disastrous as 7.2. Therefore, Your Honor, it is within this context really that when you try to understand and appreciate the interaction between these sciences that are needed by disaster and the application into pragmatic conditions, and then makikita po natin na mas kakailanganin po natin na ang department, dahil otherwise, binigyan natin sila na pagkadami-daming atas, lalong-lalo na walang mamamatay dahil po sa bagyo, ay hindi po natin iaasa natin sa iba at makikipag-coordinate ka. Dahil po kung isipin niyo po, Your Honor, ito pong buong batas na to, inabolish po namin ang coordination. Ang meron po dito ay integration ng lahat ng kakailanganin po para magawa ng isang departamento. They have the duty, they have and also the liability kung sakali po na may mangyari na, halimbawa, dun sa Peru, na ang kanilang report, 29 lang namatay, lumabas po alos 2,800. Dahil nga po, wala akong isang buo na kailangan natin maiwasan yung ganong klaseng disaster na mangyari po sa atin.
Tama po. Kaya nga po, sumasang-ayon po ba kayo na dahil nga po dito sa Chapter 11, sapat na pondo ang ibinibigay sa departamentong ito, kaya naman kailangan ay meron naman kapalit na responsibilidad.
Opo.
Na sisiguraduhin na sa pangangailangan na dumarating ang disaster, matutugunan niya ng mas maayos kumpara sa dati.
Tama po, dahil nga sa ngayon po, kontrolado niya, under his supervision po, yung promotion ng mga tao nandito, dadamo, o yung paghango, halimbawa, kung may magaling na manggagaling po sa BFP, pwede naman siya italaga bilang undersecretary. Pero without losing his stature as a military uniformed personnel. O, ibig sabihin niyo, Honor, sorry, I'll correct that. Kung may magaling doon, pwede natin pong ilagay sa tamang lugar para makatulong po dito. Kasi, conceptually, Your Honor, we can build all of this, grow internally. Subalit alam naman natin, pagkahirap-hirap po, magpa-approve po, kahit isa pong posisyon sa DBM. Kasi kung gusto natin ito ay lumarga, kakailanganin po natin to, mga taong to, at ang kanilang kaalaman, at ang kanilang organizational integrity, upang po may magawa po ng Department of Disaster Resiliency, base po sa mga inatas natin sa kanila, sa buong halos ilang pahinan to, sa halos isang tambak na duties na binibigay natin sa kanila, bilang din pong pagtanggap na ang ating kalaban ay lalong naging dambuhala, ang climate change. At mas dambuhala dyan, siguro, the monster is really the complex interaction of climate change with our geological features. Kaya yun po talaga ang kinakatakutan ko. Ngayon, nakikita nyo na siguro na kahit ang bagyo po, nagre-register po sa seismic instruments. Yung kanila po sa lakas po ng mangkot, yung kanila pong lakas, lumalabas po sa seismic instrument. At worried po ako dahil po sa pinanggalingan ng ating lupa dito sa Pilipinas na baka mangyari ulit yung Yolanda, yung Pablo, yung Sendong, yung Pepeng, yung Undoy, yung po ang ating iniiwasan. Sa makatwid po, ang kailangan natin, ang tanggap na po natin that climate change is a given. Tanggap po natin that we are highly urbanized at mahirap po talaga mag-relocate. Tanggap po natin na marami pa rin mahirap. Tinatanggap po natin yung mga iba pang risk. Ano sagot dyan? Increase capacity. So risk, hazard minus capacity, then you'd reduce the risk. So ang ginagawa po nitong bill na to is to increase the capacity so you can reduce the risk because hazards are given. Hindi ko po mapapaalis ang Mayong Volcano at papuntahin ko po sa Masbate para po ang halos 50,000 na tao nung nakarampong Pebrero, umabot po ng 89,000 o halos 24,000 families ang kailangan pong ilikas. So dahil po given ang hazards at mahirap pong i-reduce, ang pwede lang natin gawin, ang option natin is essentially to increase the capacity para po ma-reduce ang risk. Ito po ang DDR, ang sagot po sa mga hazards na given po.
Ito po bang ahensyang ito is a civilian agency?
Yes.
Apo. Ngayon, pwede ho bang paki-explain lang po under the Section 69? The disaster risk reduction and management function, assets, and personnel of the Office of the Civil Defense, currently under the DND, are hereby transferred to the department. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin po nito?
They are civilian. They are civilian.
Ibig sabihin assets, halimbawa,
Ay, yung OCD naman po, ang asset lang po niyan ay kotse, computer system, wala naman po silang military hardware, wala po sila na nagagamit po na siguro may mga bumibili sila ng pang-rescue na mga bangka, ang tawag doon? Rubber boats, they have PPE, personal protection equipment. So beyond that, Your Honor, I don't think they have any more than that in terms of, and anyway, most of this equipment are being given to local government units, to the responding units.
well, every time there's a disaster response that the Office of Civil Defense, nakikita ko po yung mga heavy equipments nila ron.
Call out po yun, Your Honor, na nandito rin, na pag hindi ko kakayanin nila, kasi marami po tayong, we have almost 150,000 police. We have 135,000 military, or almost 300,000 men in uniform. So, Your Honor, ito pong 300,000 pong ito, pwede po nating i-call out para po makapag-provide ng surge capacity, lalong-lalo na kung na-overwhelm po yung isang LGU, or in the case, hindi po kinakaya po ng mismong assets po, nung mismong sistema ng DDR o ng OCD na iyo pong binabanggit. So it's there po, it is enshrined, the call-out provision.
Mr. Speaker, may I request for a few minutes suspension because I have an urgent call that I need to, kung maaari po, mapagbigyan lang po.
I need to do something also. Mr. Speaker, 1 minute suspension.
Session suspended. speaker, ha? Kailangan dalang camera, bawal. Bawal tumunog-tunog. Thank you. Okay na, okay na. 3 minutes sa asukal.
Primer mo?
Oo, 3 minutes sa asukal. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend consideration of House Bill number 8165. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we take up on and consider on second reading House Bill number 7774 as contained in Committee Report number 754 and direct the Secretary General to read the title thereof.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. Secretary General is so directed.
House Bill number 7774, an act establishing the rights of passengers of taxis, tourist car transport services, and other similar vehicles for hire.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, copies of the bill have been previously distributed to members. I request, I move that the chairperson of the committee, not the chairperson, the author, one of the authors of the said bill, the Honorable Estrelita Sonsing of Nueva Ecija, be recognized to sponsor the measure.
The Honorable Swansing is recognized for sponsorship.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker and the honorable members of this estimable assembly. The following bills, House Bill number 106, introduced by Representative Angelina Tan, entitled An Act Establishing the Taxi Passengers' Rights. House Bill number 296, introduced by Representative Horacio P. Swansing Jr. and yours truly, entitled An Act Establishing the Taxi Passenger Rights. House Bill number 758, introduced by former Representative and now Undersecretary of the Department of Justice, Emeline Aglipay Villar, entitled An Act Providing for the Regulation of Activities of Taxi Drivers and Operators and for Other Purposes. And House Bill number 4433, introduced by Representative Harlin Niel Abayon III, entitled An Act Penalizing the Charging of Taxi Fares which are higher than the official rates, the failure to use the taximeter, or the refusal to carry taxi passengers without cost to their places of destination, have all been consolidated to become House Bill number 7774, entitled An Act Establishing the Rights of Passengers of Taxis, Tourist Car Transport Services or TCTs, and other similar vehicles for hire or VFH, last May 23, 2018. I come before you now to sponsor Consolidated House Bill number 7774. Its main objective is to constitute a uniform transportation service standard that shall address the basic rights of the taxi, TCTs, and VFH passengers. It has been long overdue that we professionalize and mandate a code of conduct on our transport service drivers that will not only earn the respect and trust of our traveling public, but foreign visitors as well. Some of the key provisions of this bill are that it requires only a duly licensed professional driver and duly certified by the Drivers Academy of the LTFRB to drive a taxi, and that all licensed vehicles to be operated as taxis to be clean, safe, smoke and foul odor-free, and roadworthy. Other provisions also require that the taxi passengers are served by a driver that is properly dressed, that the driver, after having been flagged down or engaged, cannot refuse to transport any passenger without good reason, that the passenger pay the rate or fare exactly as posted in the meter, that the passenger be given the exact amount of change, that the passenger be issued a proper receipt, that the passenger can refuse multiple hiring, especially for taxis, that the passenger decide on the orientation of air conditioning and lighting systems inside the covered vehicle, and other such enumerated passenger rights that are guaranteed by this bill. The bill also provides for penalties and fines against violators of this act, and such fines may be increased by the LTFRB once every 5 years, which amount shall not be more than 10% of the amount it seeks to increase. The late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago, the pillar of fortitude and integrity in government service, particularly in legislature, had always been my guiding star and beacon regarding this bill. She had always inspired me to focus on solutions that would benefit the common man. When this bill becomes a law, it should be able to quell all the complaints against erring taxi drivers and other passenger service drivers that we've been hearing for years without end. Hence, ladies and gentlemen, your urgent concurrence is now needed to pass this bill for the sake of our riding public. Thank you very much, and good afternoon to all.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend consideration of House Bill number 7774.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move for suspension for a few minutes.
Session suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we resume consideration of House Bill number 7774 as contained in Committee Report number 754 and direct the Secretary General to read the title of the measure.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Secretary General is so directed.
House Bill 7774, an act establishing the rights of passengers of taxis, tourist car transport services, and other similar vehicles for hire.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the parliamentary status of the bill is that it's in the period of sponsorship and debate. And for that reason, we move to recognize the sponsor of the measure, the Honorable Swansing.
The Honorable Swansing is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'm ready to accept questions.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpellate the honorable sponsor, I move that we close the period of interpellations.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee amendments or individual amendments, I move for that we close the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill number 7774. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
All those in favor of House Bill 7774, please say aye. All those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 774 is now approved on second reading.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended.
kasi inutos lang sa amin na kung pwede. It's so good, and it's good policy, then you should be proud of referring this PMS drafted bill as a House bill. So why punish ourselves with so much machinations? Where's the better angels here? They cannot even show a single letter that the PMS claims.
Session is resumed.
Mr. Speaker, at this juncture, I move that we recognize some guests of the House of Representatives, namely local officials of the municipality of Manolo Fortich in the province of Bukidnon, guests of the Honorable Maria Lourdes Acosta Alba, led by Melba Batoon, Mary Jane Gilayan, Flora May Penaso, Virgie Payanan, and company. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
The guests of the Honorable Acosta Alba, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
We also would like to move that we welcome to the House of Representatives guests of Congresswoman Lorna Bautista Bandigan, Police Provincial Director of Davao Occidental, Lieutenant Colonel Tor Cuyos, DILG Provincial Director Debbie Torres, Provincial Board Member Alan Colina, Provincial Social Welfare Officer Esterlita Hermosissima, Head Executive Assistant Mariviv Hubak, and other district staff.
The guests of the Honorable Bautista Bandigan, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
Mr. Speaker, we also would like to welcome the guests of Congresswoman Cora Malanyaon, led by Yvette Tolentino Sunga, Reza Cobelo, Marlene Casibua, Police Superintendent Archie Sosobrado, and Captain Rayboy Ibanez of the 701st Brigade.
The guests of the Honorable Malanyaon, we welcome you to the House of Representatives. Majority
Mr.
Leader.
Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we reconsider the approval of Journal Number 18, dated September 11, 2018, for some amendments. For
Is there
one
any-
amendment.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority
The-
Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the amendment is on page 13 of the said journal. Under Committee on Ways and Means, as Vice Chairperson, what is reflected there is Representative Dakila Carlo E. Kua, Vice Representative Estrelita B. Swansing. I move that the same be amended to read Representative Dakila Carlo E. Kua, Vice Representative Jocelyn C. Lim Kai Chong. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Likewise, Mr. Speaker, I move that we reconsider the approval of Journal Number 17, dated September 10, 2018, for some amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we attach as an annex to Journal Number 17 the names of members who voted on House Bill Number 8083.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
And on the said annex, Mr. Speaker, I move that we correct the same to reflect the vote of the Honorable Juan Pablo Bondoc as affirmative for the said measure, and the vote of the Honorable Santos Recto as a negative vote for the said measure. Also, that the said annex should now reflect the number of affirmative votes as 188 and the number of negative votes as 15, with the abstention of 3. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve Journal Number 17 as amended.
There's a motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Journal Number 17 as amended is approved.
Likewise, Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve Journal Number 18 as amended.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Journal Number 18 as amended is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move for a few minutes
Session
suspension.
suspended.
Advisory. Members are advised that starting Monday, September 17, 2018, the commencement of daily sessions of the House shall be at 10 o'clock in the morning for the deliberation of the fiscal year 2019 General Appropriations Bill.
Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, relative to House Bill 7436, which we have previously approved on third reading and is now under the Bicameral Conference Committee, with leave of the House, I move that we rescind approval of the said bill and that we will no longer pursue its passage. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Move. On the part of the majority, Mr. Speaker, for the Committee on Accounts, I'd like to elect as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Alexandria P. Gonzalez. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
The Committee on Appropriations, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Evelina G. Escudero. So moved, Mr.
Is there
Speaker.
any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
The Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries, Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr. as additional member. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Special Committee on Basis Conversion, Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr. as additional member. So moved, Mr.
Is there
Speaker.
any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Arthur Yap. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Constitutional Amendments, again, Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Wilter V. Palma II. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Economic Affairs, yet again, Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr. as additional member. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Energy, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Wilter V. Palma II. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Foreign Affairs, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez, Vice Ron P. Salo. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Games and Amusements, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Rosemary J. Arenas. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Ron P. Salo. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Health, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Wilter V. Palma II. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, you guessed it, Mr. Speaker, Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Rogelio J. Espina. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is
As
there any
member.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Same is approved.
On the Committee on Housing and Urban Development, Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Wilter V. Palma II. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Justice, and this is not the last, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Rosemary J. Arenas. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Natural Resources, as member Emmanuel F. Madrona, Vice Arthur R. Defensor Jr. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Public Order and Safety, we're back again. As member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Committee on Tourism, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Arthur Yap. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Transportation, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Rosemary J. Arenas. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Ways and Means, as member Aurelio D. Gonzalez Jr., Vice Rosemary J. Arenas. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we declare vacant the position of number 2 of the Committee on Labor and Employment. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Speaker, I move we declare vacant the position of number 35 and number 40 of the Committee on Accounts. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Special Committee on East Asian Growth Area, Gil P. Acosta as member number 2. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On Special Committee on Food Security, Gil P. Acosta as member number 4. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Special Committee on Reforestation, Benjamin C. Agaro Jr. as member number 2. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved.
Committee on National Defense and Security, Benjamin C. Agaro Jr. as member number 6. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Health, Michelle M. Antonio as member number 8. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Dangerous Drugs, Arnolfo A. Teves Jr. as member number 3 and Rodel M. Batocabe as member number 6. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Special Committee on Bicol Recovery and Economic Development, Salvador B. Bilaro Jr. as member number 3. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Special Committee on Globalization and WTO, Peter John D. Calderon as member number 4. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Agriculture and Food, Wilfredo S. Caminero as member number 4. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is
On the
approved.
Committee on Social Services, Sabiniano S. Canama as member number 4. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
The Committee on Cooperative Development, Sabiniano S. Camana as member number 3. Teodoro G. Montoro as member number 5. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Aquaculture and Fisheries Resources, Sabiniano C. Canama as member number 6. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Committee on Appropriations, Mohammed Khalid Dimapuro as member number 10. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Committee on Basic Education and Culture, Juliet Marie D. Ferrer as member number 7. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Committee on Public Works and Highways, Juliet Marie D. Ferrer as member number 7. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Same is approved.
The Committee on Public Information, Ben Herbie Lopez as member number 3. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Committee on Natural Resources, Francisco F. Matugas II as member number 4. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Committee on Information and Communications Technology, Francisco F. Matugas II as member number 2. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Committee on Revision of Laws, Maria Valentina G. Plaza as member number 3. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Committee on Accounts, Maria Valentina G. Plaza as member number 7. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Committee on Mindanao Affairs, Evelyn P. Miliana as member number 7. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Committee on Tourism, Frederick P. Xiao as member number 3 and Evelyn P. Miliana as member number 6. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The same is approved.
Committee on Ways and Means, Evelyn P. Miliana as member number 6. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries, Strike Biribilla as member number 5. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On Special Committee on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity, Shirley Abubakar Tan as member number 4. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Committee on Energy, Carlos Roman L. Oybareta as member number 8. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
The Committee on Labor and Employment, Ana Marie Villarasa Suarez as member number 2. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
To the Committee on Appropriations as Vice Chairperson, Shirley Tan. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to withdraw the election for the Committee on Accounts, Maria Valentina G. Plaza as member number 7. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend proceedings.
Session suspended. At 10 o'clock. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, at this juncture, I move that we recognize Deputy Minority Leader Antonio Bravo for a few manifestations. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Bravo is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the part of the minority, we elect for the Committee on Accounts as members, Milagros Aquino Magsaysay, Congressman Rodel M. Batucabi. On the Committee on Disaster Management as member, Arlen B. Arcillas. Those are moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended. Director. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
10 o'clock. Mr. Speaker, I move that we adjourn session until 10 o'clock of September 17, a Monday. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Session is adjourned until September 17, 2018, on Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning.